Ghislaine Maxwell, Epstein's confidant. Her dad.
I know y'all know that McGraw-Hill textbook. I'm gonna insert it. It's right here. It's right here. I'm gonna put it right here. But yeah. So they're a part of what? Are they Jewish?
Yes. But her dad had dealings with that textbook company, and they're Jewish. He was a Jewish spy,
Confederate, right? So it's important to remember that the Confederate was not a part of the United States. I'm mentioning the Confederate because around this time, the Civil War, that's apparently when we became free. So it's important to break down the Civil War, what's happening during this time, which is why I was mentioning it during, the Harriet Tubman video. So, like I said, the Confederate. Apparently, y'all, the Confederate was us. That symbol is on the Abraham book, Assumptions Matter. And that's hieroglyphics. Keep that in mind. And the symbol is also, where else did I see the symbol? Oh, it's on an Indian, I found it on an Indian photo, y'all. Mm-hmm. But that symbol is from us. Remember how my sister Kishi been saying this all week, ain't nothing new under the sun. Y'all, they flipped it. Mm-hmm. So remember how I said they're writing history, right? So during that time, he's writing history, documenting history. And then during the 50s, when they integrated the schools, in 1957, they integrated the schools, they taught this history to us. And they flipped it though, because they didn't want us to remember that
Come on. The fact that they just wrote it like not too long ago and now they teaching it, like, let's look. That is some crazy shit. Like, y'all rushed.
And we know that they are part of the McGraw-Hill,
Ghislaine Maxwell, Epstein's confidant. Her dad.
I know y'all know that McGraw-Hill textbook. I'm gonna insert it. It's right here. It's right here. I'm gonna put it right here. But yeah. So they're a part of what? Are they Jewish?
Yes. But her dad had dealings with that textbook company, and they're Jewish. He was a Jewish spy, and y'all need to look into the relationship between America and Israel.
I got a video about that.
And politics.
I got a video about that. Go look it up. I'll pin it when I make this one, just so it'll, be side by side, so it makes sense. But still, all of this shit is connected. Mm-hmm. And so back to that being a hieroglyphic symbol, because we were like, what does hieroglyphic got to do with y'all? First of all, do you understand? Okay, so La Louisiana, right? So we know La Louisiana was La Florida, right? We also know La Florida was Tamari. Okay, so Tamari, where did that come from? Kemet, not Egypt, because we know the name Egypt is a Arabic name.
It's named after Ptah, Semitic word for Misir, which it means metropolis, and then that turns into Mesopotamia. And Mesopotamia was like northern Africa, Asia, Turkey, Russia, all of that.
So it dates back to the Asians. We know that it's not the original name. So that's we'll give you the background of the name. And so the reason they call the United States of America the United States of America is because it was the United States. Remember I said the 13 colonies of Tamari. So they wrote us into their history, because remember they suppressed the Haitians, and they told, okay, be quiet. We ain't gonna let nobody know about them, which is why they can completely taking them out of the trade, everything. Like they do them dirty type shit. And so they kept them quiet, and they supposedly had sold us the Louisiana Purchase to the United States in 1803, but no, they didn't, because we know the French owned the Louisiana, this area, Haiti, and all of that. And they gave it to Spain. They gave it to Spain, why? Because they was getting their ass beat. Spain gave it back to French, why? Because they was getting their ass beat. And so, they got their ass beat. We never got conquered.
Mm-hmm. So they say they sold it to the U.S.
And so, the Confederate was still the ones who we weren't conquered. So, of course, we wasn't trying to be a part of no, what you talking about, And so, what they did was, Frederick Douglass, during that time, he documented history, flipped it, and fed it to the grandchildren of the children during that time. Because remember, the children of that time were warring. They didn't have time to worry about what somebody else was doing in the background. To program, because they got a whole plan going on, and we're just trying to defend. Well, what is it? Defense? But
because we didn't, they invaded us,
right, and
they say we've always been a peaceful people. Like that's been said so many times in history.
It's the United States of the stolen lands of Tamari. That's what it is, and that's why they call us the United States of America, because
they have to
they're
tell
the
you the
United
truth.
States of
Tamari, America, and they have to tell you the truth.
Because remember, they were the United States at first. They called themselves the United States, the 13 colonies. They didn't call themselves the United States of America. Why all of a sudden? Come on. Okay. And so something else we got to keep in mind. Why the Indians and the Egyptians are the only two type, the Mayans, the Aztec, are the people, their ruins are still here, but they disappeared. We just talked about how Egypt, the Egyptians, their name is Arabic. So the ones who call themselves Egyptian are who? Arabic. So they're not they're not the ones who inscribed those
People they weren't the ones that put the hieroglyphs on all of our old, just everything that we see hieroglyphs on. And even they found hieroglyphs in the Grand Canyon that they don't want to talk about.
They found ruins of King Tut in the Arkansas Valley, which is the Mississippi River, and we all know that the Mississippi River is said to be the Nile River based off of the streams that were described in the Bible. But and so, like we were saying, we were so the Egyptian name is Arabic. So we know that the people in the Egyptians are Arabic. So so you got that right. So that's connecting that back to Asia, because they're from Mesopotamia. Mm-hmm. And so
you can look up a map of Mesopotamia. You put that in there too.
And so we know that's them. And like I said, the Caucasians are here as well. And and they're giving us the African American history. They're forcing that on us. And then who else is helping hide our history? The Native Americans. And where did we find out they're from? They're from Siberia. So where is Siberia? Siberia is in Asia. Just like, why are they called the Caucasians? Because they came from the Caucasus Mountains in where? Asia. And so all of them, y'all, are the same people who came out of the mountains. All of them, they're the same people. They are the Caucasians playing different roles. They destiny swapped with us.
They definitely destiny swapped.
And so
and got us thinking we was took from another land, Lord.
And any higher up person who is doing, Frederick Douglass and Martin Luther Kings and all of these people who are the celebrities, now we were like selling their souls, they're part of the Boule.
Mm-hmm.
They're part of the Boule. And if you don't know what that is, go look it up.
The Black Boule. It's true. That's the African American propaganda, huh?
Right.
The Boule.
They came over here. The Asians were slaves. The Siberians. So they were slaves. We had them as slaves. And they teamed up with them to play the Native Americans. They were slaves. The black and white symbol on that represent a prisoner came from us. And we painted them. They were our slaves. Yep.